Hello there, and welcome. I'm really glad you found your way here tonight. Maybe it's been a long day. Maybe your mind is still busy with thoughts from this morning. Or perhaps you're simply someone who enjoys falling asleep while exploring the mysteries of our world. Whatever brought you here, I'm happy you're here with me. Tonight, we're going somewhere very few human beings have ever truly seen. Far below the waves, far below the reach of sunlight, into a world so strange that at times it feels less like part of Earth and more like another planet entirely. The deep ocean covers an enormous portion of our world, yet we know surprisingly little about it. In many ways, we've mapped distant planets more thoroughly than the seafloor beneath our own oceans. Down there, mountains rise higher than the Alps. Creatures create their own light in complete darkness. Entire ecosystems survive without a single ray of sunshine. And the deeper we travel, the stranger everything becomes. So before we begin, make yourself comfortable. Adjust your pillow if you need to. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw unclench. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. There is nowhere else you need to be right now. Nothing you need to solve. Nothing you need to finish. For the next little while, we're simply going to drift together through 100 fascinating facts about the deep ocean. And as we descend into the darkness below, perhaps you'll discover that the most mysterious place on Earth has been hiding here all along. Now, let's begin our journey. Before we travel into the deep ocean itself, it is worth remembering just how much of our world is covered by water. When most people imagine Earth, they think of continents, countries, mountains, deserts, and cities. We spend our lives on land, so it feels natural to think of land as the defining feature of our planet. But from far away, Earth looks very different. Viewed from space, our world appears overwhelmingly blue. Vast oceans stretch across the surface in every direction, covering more than 70% of the planet. In some ways, it is surprising that we call it Earth at all. A visitor arriving from another star system might have chosen a different name entirely. They might have called it ocean. And yet, despite covering most of the planet, the oceans remain among the least explored places on Earth. Human beings have climbed the tallest mountains. We have crossed deserts, mapped forests, and photographed distant galaxies. We have sent spacecraft beyond the outer planets and landed robots on other worlds. But beneath the waves of our own planet lies a realm that is still filled with mysteries. Even today, scientists continue discovering new species in the deep ocean every year. Some of these creatures are so strange that, if they were found on another planet, few people would be surprised. As we begin our descent beneath the surface, sunlight still surrounds us. The water feels bright and welcoming. Schools of fish move through shifting beams of light. Tiny particles drift in the currents like dust floating through the air of an old sunlit room. Everything here seems familiar, for a while. But the deeper we travel, the more the ocean begins to transform. The sunlight gradually weakens. Colors start disappearing one after another. Red is usually the first to vanish. Then orange begins to fade. Yellow follows soon after. At first, the changes are subtle. A bright red fish no longer appears quite so red. Then it becomes dark. Then almost black. The fish itself has not changed. Only the light has. Water absorbs different colors at different rates, slowly filtering the world around us until almost everything is painted in shades of blue. As we continue downward, even those shades begin to fade. The surface grows distant. The bright world above becomes little more than a memory. Eventually, we arrive at a place where sunlight can no longer reach. This is one of the largest habitats on Earth, and it exists in almost complete darkness. No sunrise has ever illuminated these waters. No sunset has ever painted the horizon. For countless creatures living here, day and night simply do not exist. Darkness is not an event, it is the environment itself. To many people, such a place might sound empty or lifeless. But the opposite is true. Life has adapted to these conditions in ways that are both elegant and astonishing. In fact, one of the most remarkable features of the deep ocean is that many animals produce their own light. This ability is known as bioluminescence. Some fish carry glowing organs beneath their eyes. Certain squid can illuminate parts of their bodies. Tiny drifting organisms flash when disturbed, creating brief bursts of blue light in the darkness. Scientists estimate that bioluminescence is one of the most common forms of communication in the deep sea. Imagine an underwater world where living creatures become the stars. Every flash may carry a message. Some lights are used to attract mates. Others help animals recognize members of their own species. Some serve as warnings, and some function as traps. Among the most famous examples is the anglerfish. In the darkness of the deep ocean, it carries a glowing lure that extends from its head. To a smaller animal, that light may appear harmless. It may even seem inviting. Curiosity draws the animal closer and closer. Only when it is too late does it discover that the light belongs to a waiting predator. The deep ocean often rewards patience. Many creatures cannot afford to waste energy chasing prey through endless darkness. Instead, they allow the darkness itself to do much of the work. Some remain motionless for long periods of time, conserving every bit of energy they can. Others drift slowly through the water, moving with a calm efficiency that would seem almost lazy near the surface. In a place where food can be difficult to find, survival often depends on patience rather than speed. And perhaps nowhere is that more evident than in the slow snowfall constantly drifting from the world above. Marine scientists sometimes refer to this as marine snow. Despite its name, it is not snow at all. It is made of tiny particles of organic material slowly sinking through the water column. Fragments of plants, microscopic organisms, tiny remains of creatures that once lived near the surface. Hour after hour, day after day, year after year, this gentle rain falls into the darkness below. For many deep-sea animals, it provides a vital source of food. Without it, entire ecosystems would struggle to survive. It is a quiet reminder that even the deepest parts of the ocean remain connected to the sunlight world far above. The deeper scientists explored the ocean, the more they realized that some of its inhabitants seemed almost impossible. Many of these animals had evolved in complete isolation from sunlight, adapting to a world that follows very different rules from the one we know. One of the strangest examples is a creature known as the vampire squid. Despite its dramatic name, it is neither a true squid nor a vampire. It does not hunt large animals. It does not drink blood. Instead, it spends much of its life drifting through the darkness, collecting tiny particles of organic material from the surrounding water. Its dark red coloration and web-like arms simply inspired an imaginative scientist to give it a memorable name. In reality, the vampire squid is a surprisingly gentle resident of the deep sea. And like many deep-sea animals, it reminds us that appearances can be deceiving. Another unusual creature is the giant isopod. At first glance, it resembles an oversized pillbug, the small crustaceans sometimes found beneath rocks and logs on land. The difference is that giant isopods can grow to astonishing sizes. Some reach lengths of more than 30 centimeters. Their large bodies are an example of a phenomenon known as deep-sea gigantism. For reasons scientists are still investigating, certain animals living in the deep ocean evolved to become much larger than their shallow water relatives. The deep sea is filled with examples of this curious pattern. Enormous sea spiders, giant amphipods, massive worms. Nature seems to experiment differently in the darkness. Perhaps the most famous deep-sea animal in recent years is the blobfish. Photographs of blobfish often appear in articles about unusual creatures, usually accompanied by descriptions calling it the world's ugliest animal. But there is an important detail that many people do not realize. The blobfish only appears strange after it has been brought to the surface. In its natural habitat, thousands of meters below the waves, the immense pressure helps maintain its shape. The familiar photographs show what happens when that pressure disappears. In a way, the blobfish is not ugly at all. It is simply an animal perfectly adapted to a world that humans rarely see. Pressure shapes nearly every aspect of life in the deep ocean. At the surface, we are surrounded by air. We hardly notice its weight because we have spent our entire lives living within it. Water, however, is much heavier than air. As depth increases, so does pressure. At a depth of 1,000 meters, the force pressing against an object becomes enormous. At the deepest parts of the ocean, the pressure reaches levels that seem almost unimaginable. A human being could never survive there without extraordinary protection. Yet countless animals spend their entire lives under these conditions. To them, such pressure is completely normal. If one of those creatures were somehow transported to the surface, it might struggle just as much as we would struggle in the depths. Every environment creates its own definition of normal. Far below the surface, there are places where the ocean floor suddenly rises into vast underwater mountains. Many of these mountains are larger than anything visible on land. Some stretch for thousands of kilometers. Others tower several kilometers above the surrounding sea floor. Most people will never see these hidden landscapes, yet they are among the largest geological features on Earth. The ocean conceals entire mountain ranges that rival those found on the continents. In fact, the longest mountain chain on our planet is not found on land at all. It lies beneath the ocean. Known as the Mid-Ocean Ridge, this immense underwater system extends around the globe like the seams of a baseball. If it could somehow be lifted above the waves, it would become one of the most spectacular sights on Earth. For much of human history, nobody even knew it existed. That is one of the recurring themes of deep ocean exploration. Again and again, we discover that some of Earth's greatest wonders have been hidden in darkness all along. Perhaps the most extraordinary discoveries were made near places called hydrothermal vents. These vents form where seawater seeps into cracks in the ocean floor, becomes heated by magma deep within the Earth, and then erupts back into the ocean. The water emerging from these vents can be astonishingly hot. In some cases, it is hot enough to melt lead. Yet despite these extreme conditions, entire ecosystems flourish around them. When scientists first discovered hydrothermal vents in the late 20th century, the finding transformed our understanding of life itself. Until then, many researchers assumed that nearly all ecosystems ultimately depended on sunlight. The communities surrounding hydrothermal vents revealed something different. Here were living organisms thriving in complete darkness. No sunlight, no photosynthesis, no connection to the energy source that powers most life on Earth's surface. Instead, bacteria used chemicals from the vents to create energy through a process known as chemosynthesis. These microscopic organisms became the foundation of entire ecosystems. Giant tube worms grew nearby. Crabs crawled across the sea floor. Shrimp gathered in enormous numbers. Life had found another path. And for scientists searching for life elsewhere in the universe, this discovery carried an exciting implication. If life could thrive without sunlight at the bottom of Earth's oceans, perhaps it could exist in other unexpected places as well. Maybe beneath the icy crust of distant moons. Maybe within hidden oceans orbiting other planets. Or perhaps in environments we have not yet imagined. Sometimes the deep ocean feels less like a part of Earth and more like a glimpse into another world entirely. For centuries, sailors returned from long voyages with stories that many people found difficult to believe. They spoke of enormous tentacled creatures lurking beneath the waves. They described battles between sea monsters and whales. They told stories of giant arms rising from the darkness and disappearing again beneath the ocean. As often happens, the truth turned out to be far more interesting than the legends. Deep within the ocean lives one of the most mysterious animals ever discovered, the giant squid. Unlike many famous creatures, giant squids rarely reveal themselves. They spend most of their lives far below the surface, moving through darkness where human eyes almost never reach. For a very long time, scientists knew they existed primarily because their remains occasionally washed ashore or appeared in the stomachs of sperm whales. The animals themselves remained elusive. In fact, it was only in the 21st century that researchers finally captured clear images of giant squids alive in their natural habitat. Imagine that. Humanity had built skyscrapers, crossed oceans, invented airplanes, walked on the moon, and connected billions of people through the internet before we managed to obtain detailed footage of one of the largest animals living on our own planet. Even now, much of the giant squid's life remains a mystery. Its larger relative, the colossal squid, is even more difficult to study. Living in the cold waters surrounding Antarctica, it possesses some of the largest eyes known in the animal kingdom. Each eye can grow to a size that seems almost unbelievable. Scientists believe these enormous eyes help detect faint movements in the darkness, allowing the squid to notice predators or prey from great distances. In the deep ocean, seeing even a small amount can make the difference between survival and disaster. As strange as these creatures may seem, they are not the largest mysteries hidden beneath the waves. The ocean floor itself contains landscapes so immense that they challenge our imagination. Many people are familiar with the Grand Canyon, one of the most spectacular geological formations on land. Yet beneath the oceans are canyons that rival or exceed it in scale. Some stretch for hundreds of kilometers, others plunge thousands of meters downward through the seafloor. Most remain unseen by human eyes. No tourists stand at their edges. No roads lead to their viewpoints. They exist in silence beneath kilometers of water. And yet they are every bit as real as the landscapes we admire on land. Among the most extraordinary places on Earth is the Mariana Trench. Located in the western Pacific Ocean, it represents the deepest known part of our planet. Its lowest region, known as Challenger Deep, descends to nearly 11 kilometers below sea level. To appreciate that depth, imagine placing Mount Everest into the trench. The mountain would disappear beneath the surface. Its summit would still remain underwater. The deepest ocean is so deep that even Earth's tallest mountain cannot escape it. Conditions there are unlike anything experienced by humans in everyday life. The darkness is complete. The temperature hovers only a few degrees above freezing. The pressure becomes almost impossible to imagine. And yet, life exists even there. Tiny organisms, strange crustaceans, and resilient fish have been discovered in places once thought completely uninhabitable. Again and again, nature proves itself more adaptable than we expect. One of the most surprising discoveries involved microscopic pieces of plastic. Researchers exploring some of the deepest regions of the ocean found evidence that human pollution had reached even these remote environments. It is a sobering reminder that our actions can affect places we may never personally visit. The deep ocean can feel distant, but it is connected to the rest of the world in countless ways. Ocean currents transport heat across the globe. Marine ecosystems influence weather patterns. Deep waters store enormous amounts of carbon. The ocean helps regulate Earth's climate every single day. Without it, life on the surface would look very different. In some ways, the ocean functions like a hidden support system for the entire planet. Most of the time, we rarely think about it. The waves come and go. The tides rise and fall. The horizon appears calm and familiar. Yet beneath that surface lies a world of staggering complexity. A world of mountains, valleys, volcanoes, and living creatures adapted to conditions that seem almost impossible. And despite centuries of exploration, we have only begun to understand it. Some estimates suggest that a large percentage of the deep ocean remains unexplored in detail. That means there are landscapes nobody has mapped completely, species nobody has discovered, behaviors nobody has observed, questions nobody has even thought to ask. There is something strangely comforting about that. We live in an age when information seems available instantly. Maps cover nearly every corner of the globe. Satellites watch the planet from above. Knowledge travels across continents in seconds. Yet the ocean reminds us that mystery still exists. There are still places where surprises wait in the darkness. There are still discoveries hiding beneath the waves. And perhaps that is part of what makes the deep ocean so captivating. It is not merely a place. It is a reminder that our world remains larger, stranger, and more wonderful than we often realize. Even after all we have learned, the greatest ocean explorer who will ever live may not have been born yet. The most extraordinary deep-sea creature may not have been discovered yet. And somewhere, in the darkness far below, another mystery is waiting patiently for someone to find it. As scientists continued exploring deeper parts of the ocean, they discovered animals that seemed almost designed by imagination rather than evolution. One such creature is the barrel-eye fish. At first glance, it appears relatively ordinary. Its body is small and unremarkable compared to many other deep-sea animals. But hidden beneath a transparent dome on its head are its eyes. The top of the fish's head is nearly clear, allowing researchers to see directly into part of its anatomy. Even more remarkable, those eyes can rotate. For years, scientists struggled to understand exactly how the fish used them. Eventually, they discovered that the eyes can point upward to search for silhouettes against the faint light far above, then rotate forward when the fish focuses on potential prey. It is one of those adaptations that seems almost impossible until you remember how different life becomes in permanent darkness. The deeper one travels into the ocean, the more valuable light becomes. A single flash can reveal food. A single glow can attract a mate. A single spark can mean survival. This is why bioluminescence evolved so many times throughout the deep sea. Some researchers estimate that the majority of deep-sea animals are capable of producing light in one form or another. Imagine looking across a dark city at night and seeing thousands of tiny lights scattered across the landscape. Now imagine that every one of those lights is alive. That is closer to the reality of the deep ocean than many people realize. Some creatures create brief flashes. Others produce steady glows. Certain squid can illuminate the undersides of their bodies, helping them blend into faint light filtering down from above. This strategy, known as counter-illumination, works almost like natural camouflage. Predators looking upward see what appears to be empty water. The squid effectively erases its own shadow. In the darkness of the deep ocean, even shadows become important. Some fish have taken bioluminescence even further. Dragonfish possess rows of glowing organs along their bodies. Many species emit blue or green light because those colors travel most effectively through seawater. But some dragonfish can produce red light. This gives them a remarkable advantage. Many deep-sea animals cannot detect red wavelengths. To them, red light is effectively invisible. The dragonfish can illuminate its surroundings while remaining hidden from much of the life around it. It is almost like carrying a secret flashlight that nobody else can see. The ocean is filled with solutions that sound more like science fiction than biology. Yet every one of them evolved naturally over millions of years. Perhaps even stranger is the story of the so-called immortal jellyfish. Despite its dramatic nickname, it is not truly immortal. Like all living things, it can still be eaten, injured, or affected by disease. However, under certain conditions, it possesses an extraordinary ability. Rather than progressing normally toward death, it can reverse part of its life cycle and return to an earlier developmental stage. In simple terms, it can become biologically younger. Scientists continue studying this process because it offers fascinating insights into how cells develop and change over time. The ocean often challenges assumptions about what life can do. Again and again, it reveals possibilities that seem almost impossible. And yet, perhaps the most important organisms in the ocean are not the largest or strangest. They are the smallest. Tiny drifting organisms known as phytoplankton spend their lives floating near the sunlit surface. Individually, they are microscopic. Collectively, they are among the most influential forms of life on Earth. These tiny organisms perform photosynthesis, using sunlight to produce energy. In the process, they generate enormous amounts of oxygen. In fact, scientists estimate that a significant portion of the oxygen we breathe originates from the ocean. Every second of every day, countless microscopic organisms are helping sustain life across the planet. Most people never see them. Most people never think about them. Yet every breath serves as a quiet reminder of their existence. The ocean is filled with connections like this. The deep sea may seem distant from everyday life, but it influences the entire world. Heat moves through ocean currents. Nutrients cycle through marine ecosystems. Carbon is stored within deep waters for long periods of time. The oceans help stabilize Earth's climate and support countless forms of life. Even the weather outside your window is connected in some way to processes unfolding far out at sea. The more scientists learn about the ocean, the more they realize how interconnected everything truly is. A tiny plankton drifting near the surface, a whale crossing an ocean basin, a fish living thousands of meters below the waves. Each plays a role within an immense system that has been operating for millions of years. And despite all our discoveries, many questions remain unanswered. Every deep-sea expedition has the potential to reveal something entirely new. A species never documented before, a behavior nobody expected, an ecosystem hidden in darkness. For researchers, that possibility remains one of the most exciting aspects of ocean exploration. Because unlike many frontiers of the past, the deep ocean still holds genuine unknowns. Somewhere below, in waters few humans have ever seen, life continues its quiet existence. Creatures drift through darkness. Currents move across unseen landscapes. Ancient ecosystems carry on as they have for ages. And most of it unfolds beyond the reach of human observation, hidden beneath the waves of our blue planet. If there is one group of animals that truly belongs to the ocean, it might be the whales. Long before humans built cities, crossed oceans in ships, or looked up at the stars through telescopes, whales were already traveling across vast stretches of the sea. Some species undertake migration so long that they rank among the greatest journeys performed by any animal on Earth. Year after year, they cross entire ocean basins. Generation after generation, they follow routes that existed long before the first maps were drawn. And they do all of this in an environment that often appears almost featureless to us. The open ocean can seem empty when viewed from the surface. Water stretches to every horizon. Land disappears from sight. Clouds drift overhead. Yet whales somehow navigate these immense distances with remarkable precision. Scientists are still working to fully understand how they accomplish it. Some evidence suggests they may use Earth's magnetic field. Others believe they rely on memory, ocean currents, sounds, and environmental cues working together. Perhaps it is a combination of many different abilities. Whatever the answer may be, it remains one of the most impressive feats of navigation in nature. The songs of whales are equally fascinating. In the deep ocean, sound travels much farther than light. A beam of light may disappear after a relatively short distance. A sound, however, can continue traveling for astonishing lengths through the water. Because of this, many marine animals rely heavily on sound to communicate. Among the most famous examples are humpback whales. Male humpbacks produce complex songs that can continue for many minutes before repeating. These songs are not random. They possess patterns and structures that change over time. Entire populations may gradually adopt new variations, almost as if musical trends are spreading through the ocean. Researchers have spent decades studying these remarkable vocalizations. Even now, many questions remain unanswered. There is something strangely moving about the idea. Somewhere beneath the waves, far from human cities and roads, Whales are singing to one another across vast distances. The ocean carries their voices through darkness. Messages drift through the water where no human ear can naturally hear them. And this has been happening for millions of years. The blue whale, the largest animal known to have ever lived, also depends heavily on sound. When people hear that blue whales are enormous, they often imagine something merely large. The reality is difficult to grasp. A blue whale can grow longer than many buildings. Its heart is enormous. Its tongue alone can weigh as much as an elephant. Yet despite its immense size, it survives primarily by feeding on tiny creatures known as krill. Thousands upon thousands of small crustaceans become food for the largest animal Earth has ever produced. Nature often enjoys surprising contrasts. The biggest creature survives by eating some of the smallest. The most powerful ecosystems frequently depend on the tiniest organisms. The ocean repeatedly demonstrates that size alone does not determine importance. Another remarkable resident of the sea is the Greenland shark. Unlike whales, these animals move slowly through cold northern waters. For many years, scientists suspected they might live unusually long lives. Eventually, researchers discovered something extraordinary. Some Greenland sharks may live for several centuries. A shark swimming through Arctic waters today could potentially have been born before many famous events in human history took place. Imagine a creature alive during the era when people still traveled primarily by horse and sail. Imagine that same animal still swimming through the ocean today. The lifespan of the Greenland shark reminds us that the ocean operates on timescales very different from our own. Human lives often feel busy and fast. Years pass quickly. Technology changes rapidly. Entire industries can appear and disappear within a single lifetime. But beneath the waves, some creatures experience time in a very different way. The ocean has always encouraged patience. Currents move slowly. Sediments settle gradually. Ecosystems evolve over immense spans of time. In some places, the seafloor preserves records of Earth's history, stretching back millions of years. Layer after layer accumulates like pages in an enormous book. Scientists can study these layers to learn about ancient climates, changing oceans, and long-forgotten environments. The deeper they look, the further back in time they can often see. In this sense, the ocean acts as a kind of natural archive. Its waters and sediments contain clues about the history of our planet. Stories written not in words, but in chemistry, fossils, and stone. And sometimes those stories reveal creatures that seem to have stepped directly out of the distant past. One famous example is the coelacanth. For many years, scientists believed this unusual fish had disappeared alongside the dinosaurs. Its fossils appeared in ancient rocks, but no living examples were known. It seemed to be another branch on the tree of life that had long since ended. Then, in 1938, something remarkable happened. A living coelacanth was discovered. The species had survived unnoticed in deep waters while scientists assumed it was extinct. The discovery became one of the most famous moments in modern biology. It served as a powerful reminder that nature can still surprise us. Even today, there may be species hidden within the ocean that science has not yet encountered. Some may be rare. Others may inhabit environments that remain difficult to explore. A few could be living quietly in places humans seldom visit, waiting unknowingly to be discovered. That possibility continues to inspire researchers around the world. Because every expedition into the deep ocean carries the same exciting promise. The possibility that beyond the reach of sunlight, beyond the edge of existing maps, something extraordinary may still be waiting in the darkness. Long before whales crossed the oceans, long before the first forests appeared on land, and long before human beings existed, the oceans were already ancient. In fact, for most of Earth's history, life existed only in the sea. If we could travel billions of years into the past, our planet would look almost unrecognizable. There would be no birds singing in forests, no mammals running across grasslands, no cities, roads, or lights, only oceans, vast oceans stretching beneath unfamiliar skies. Some of the earliest life forms emerged within those ancient waters. Simple organisms drifted through environments completely different from those we know today. The world was younger then. The continents occupied different positions. The atmosphere contained different gases. And yet, within those primitive oceans, life began a journey that would eventually lead to every plant, animal, and human being that has ever existed. In a very real sense, the story of life is also the story of the ocean. For hundreds of millions of years, evolution unfolded beneath the waves. Creatures experimented with new forms and new strategies. Some developed shells, others evolved jaws. Some grew larger, others became faster. Generation after generation, the ocean served as a vast laboratory where life continuously reinvented itself. Many of the animals that once ruled these waters would seem astonishing if we encountered them today. Ancient seas contained predators unlike anything currently alive. Some resembled enormous armored fish. Others possessed strange body plans that have no modern equivalent. Entire groups of creatures flourished for millions of years before eventually disappearing. The ocean has witnessed countless rises and falls. Species emerge. Species vanish. New ecosystems take shape, then change again. Through it all, the sea remains. One of the most famous prehistoric ocean predators is the megalodon. Although it disappeared millions of years ago, its reputation continues to capture the imagination. Megalodon was not merely a large shark. It was an enormous shark. Based on fossil evidence, some individuals may have reached lengths approaching 20 meters. Its jaws were immense. Its teeth were larger than a human hand. For millions of years, it occupied a position near the top of the marine food chain. And yet even such a powerful predator eventually vanished. This is one of the lessons repeatedly taught by Earth's history. No species remains dominant forever. The planet continues changing. Environments shift, temperatures rise and fall, oceans transform. Creatures must adapt or disappear. Even the mightiest animals are subject to these rules. The ocean has survived events that would seem almost unimaginable from a human perspective. Several times in Earth's history, mass extinctions dramatically altered life across the planet. Entire groups of organisms disappeared. Ecosystems collapsed. Biodiversity declined. Yet life persisted. Again and again, the oceans recovered. New species emerged. New ecosystems formed. The story continued. Perhaps the most famous extinction event occurred around 66 million years ago, when a large asteroid struck Earth. The impact triggered environmental changes felt across the globe. Many species disappeared, including the non-avian dinosaurs. The oceans were affected as well. Food chains were disrupted. Conditions changed dramatically. Yet even after such a catastrophic event, life endured. Over millions of years, Ecosystems gradually rebuilt themselves. The oceans adapted once more. There is something quietly inspiring about that resilience. The sea has experienced volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, shifting continents, changing climates, and countless other transformations. Still, it remains. Still, waves move across its surface. Still, currents flow through its depths. Still, life thrives beneath the water. When viewed through this perspective, the ocean begins to feel almost timeless. Of course, nothing is truly permanent. Even oceans change. But compared to a human lifetime, those changes often occur so slowly that they appear eternal. A person may stand beside the sea and see the same horizon that countless generations saw before them. The same rhythm of waves, the same tides, the same distant line where water meets sky. And beneath that familiar surface lies a history stretching back farther than human imagination can comfortably grasp. Some animals living today are themselves reminders of that ancient past. Certain shark species have existed for astonishing lengths of time. Their ancestors swam through oceans long before dinosaurs appeared. When people imagine prehistoric life, they often picture giant reptiles roaming ancient landscapes. Yet sharks were already present before many of those reptiles evolved. They have survived extinction events, changing climates, and shifting oceans. Their lineage stretches across hundreds of millions of years. Few groups of animals can claim such a history. In many ways, they are living connections to Earth's distant past. And perhaps that is one reason the ocean feels so mysterious. It contains not only unknown places, but also echoes of ancient worlds. Every deep current carries traces of history. Every sediment layer preserves fragments of forgotten eras. Every species represents a chapter in a story, billions of years in the making. When we look into the deep ocean, we are not merely looking into darkness. We are also looking into time. The sea remembers things that happened long before human beings arrived. Its waters have witnessed the rise and fall of entire worlds. And somewhere beneath those waves, that ancient story continues to unfold even now. For all the technology humanity has created, there is a surprising fact that often catches people off guard. We have mapped the surfaces of distant planets in extraordinary detail. We have photographed galaxies millions of light years away. We have placed spacecraft on Mars and sent probes beyond the outer edges of the solar system. And yet, large portions of our own ocean remain unexplored. In some respects, we know more about the visible surface of Mars than we do about the deepest regions of Earth's oceans. At first, this sounds impossible. After all, Mars is millions of kilometers away. The deep ocean is right here on our own planet, but distance is not always the greatest challenge. Sometimes pressure, darkness, and isolation can be just as difficult to overcome. The deeper explorers travel beneath the waves, the more hostile the environment becomes. Sunlight disappears. Temperatures fall. Pressure rises to extraordinary levels. Equipment must withstand forces capable of crushing ordinary machines. Even a small failure can have serious consequences. For these reasons, reaching the deepest parts of the ocean remains one of the most demanding forms of exploration. When researchers descend in specially designed submersibles, they often describe the experience as strangely similar to traveling through space. Outside the vehicle is darkness. Communication with the surface can be limited. The surrounding environment is completely inhospitable to human life. Every observation window reveals a world few people have ever seen. In many ways, the deep ocean feels less like another part of Earth and more like another planet entirely. Some scientists have even trained astronauts in underwater environments because of these similarities. Both situations require careful planning. Both involve isolation. Both demand technology capable of protecting fragile human beings from extreme conditions. And both inspire the same sense of wonder, the feeling of entering the unknown. One of the most mysterious aspects of the ocean is sound. The sea is never truly silent. Even in darkness, even far from the surface, sound continues to travel through the water. Whales call to one another. Fish produce clicks and pulses. Shifting ice creates distant echoes. Earthquakes generate vibrations that can move through enormous distances. The ocean is constantly speaking. We simply do not hear most of it. Over the years, researchers have recorded sounds that remain difficult to explain completely. One of the most famous examples became known as the bloop. In the late 20th century, underwater listening equipment detected an extremely powerful sound originating somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. The signal was unusual enough to attract widespread attention. For a time, some people wondered whether an unknown giant creature might have produced it. Theories spread rapidly. The imagination filled in the gaps. Eventually, scientists concluded that the sound was most likely created by natural geological or ice-related activity. Yet the fascination remained, not because of what the sound was, but because of what it represented. The possibility that the ocean still contains mysteries waiting to be understood. There is something deeply human about that curiosity. Whenever we encounter the unknown, our minds begin constructing possibilities. We wonder what might exist beyond the edge of our knowledge. The deep ocean provides endless opportunities for such questions. What creatures remain undiscovered? What ecosystems have never been observed? What secrets still lie hidden beneath kilometers of water? No one knows, and that uncertainty is part of what makes exploration so compelling. Every generation inherits a slightly larger map of the world than the one before it. But there are still blank spaces. The ocean contains many of them. In some places, scientists rely on sonar to reveal the shape of the seafloor. Sound waves travel downward, bounce off underwater features, and return to the surface. Using these echoes, researchers gradually build maps of landscapes nobody can see directly. It is somewhat similar to exploring a dark room with a flashlight, except the room is thousands of meters deep and larger than entire countries. Again and again, these surveys reveal unexpected discoveries. Hidden mountains, previously unknown ridges, ancient volcanic structures, deep canyons carved over immense spans of time. The ocean floor is far more varied than many people imagine. It is not a flat plain stretching endlessly beneath the water. It is a complex world of peaks, valleys, cliffs, trenches, and plateaus, a hidden geography concealed beneath the waves. And perhaps the most remarkable thing is that we continue discovering new features even today. Imagine opening a map of Earth and finding an entire mountain range that nobody had documented before. On land, such a discovery would be almost impossible. In the deep ocean, it can still happen. That fact alone reveals how much remains unknown. The ocean often humbles us in this way. Just when we begin to feel that we understand our planet, it reminds us how much there is left to learn. Perhaps that is why so many explorers become captivated by the sea. Not because they expect easy answers, but because the ocean continues asking fascinating questions. questions hidden in darkness, questions carried by distant currents, questions waiting patiently beneath the waves. And somewhere below, beyond the reach of sunlight and far from the noise of the surface world, the largest unexplored habitat on Earth continues its quiet existence, holding mysteries that may remain unsolved for generations to come. Although we often think of the ocean as a collection of separate places, it is actually part of a single connected system. The waters surrounding distant continents are not isolated from one another. Every ocean on Earth is linked through an immense network of currents that move continuously around the globe. Some currents travel near the surface, others flow silently through the depths. Together, they form something that scientists sometimes compare to a planetary circulation system, a slow-moving conveyor belt of water connecting different parts of the world. Most people never notice these currents directly. They are too large and too gradual to observe in everyday life. Yet their influence reaches nearly everywhere. They help distribute heat around the planet. They affect weather patterns. They influence rainfall, storms, temperatures, and ecosystems. In many ways, life on Earth depends upon them. Without ocean currents transporting warmth from one region to another, many parts of the world would experience dramatically different climates. Some areas would become colder, others warmer. Weather systems would behave differently. Entire ecosystems could change. The ocean works quietly in the background, helping maintain conditions that allow countless forms of life to thrive. It performs these tasks without recognition, without applause, without most people ever thinking about it. And perhaps that makes it even more remarkable. Far beneath the surface, deep currents move so slowly that a single journey can take centuries. A parcel of water sinking in one region of the world may not complete its circuit for hundreds or even thousands of years. Imagine beginning a journey during the time of ancient civilizations and only arriving at your destination today. That is the timescale on which parts of the ocean operate. The sea is patient in ways humans rarely experience. Everything feels slower there, more deliberate, more ancient. This slow movement also helps connect distant ecosystems. Nutrients travel through the water. Energy moves from one environment to another. Life in one region can influence life far away. The ocean reminds us that separation is often an illusion. What appears distant may be connected in ways we cannot immediately see. The same idea applies to something even more familiar: the air we breathe. Every breath you take carries a connection to the ocean. Many people associate oxygen with forests, trees, and plants growing on land, and certainly those ecosystems are important. But a significant portion of Earth's oxygen is produced by tiny marine organisms drifting near the surface. These microscopic forms of life are invisible to most people. You could hold a container of seawater and never notice them. Yet collectively they help support nearly every animal on the planet, including us. At this very moment, somewhere in the ocean, countless microscopic organisms are capturing sunlight and producing oxygen. They ask for nothing. Most people will never know they exist. Yet they quietly participate in sustaining life across the world. There is something beautiful about that thought. Some of the most important things on Earth are also the easiest to overlook. The ocean itself often feels that way. It is so vast that we take it for granted, so familiar that we forget how extraordinary it really is. We see beaches, waves, harbors, coastlines, But beneath those familiar images lies a realm more mysterious than many distant worlds. A realm where mountains rise from darkness, where strange animals create their own light, where ancient sharks glide through cold water, where giant squid drift unseen, where entire ecosystems flourish without sunlight, and where countless discoveries still wait to be made. Perhaps that is why the ocean continues capturing the human imagination. Not because we fully understand it, but because we do not. Mystery has always drawn people forward. The first explorers crossed unknown seas because they wondered what lay beyond the horizon. Scientists descend into the deep ocean for much the same reason. Curiosity remains one of humanity's oldest instincts, the desire to understand, to learn, to discover. And the ocean continues rewarding that curiosity, generation after generation, century after century. There is a tendency to imagine that exploration belongs mostly to the past. We think of old sailing ships disappearing beyond the horizon, maps marked with blank spaces, distant lands waiting to be charted. But exploration has not ended. It has simply moved to different frontiers. And one of the greatest frontiers still lies beneath the waves. Somewhere below, perhaps at this very moment, a species unknown to science is moving through darkness. A hidden ecosystem continues its existence beyond human observation. A geological feature waits to be mapped. A mystery waits to be understood. The ocean does not reveal all of its secrets at once. It never has. Instead, it offers them gradually. One discovery at a time. One expedition at a time. One generation at a time. And perhaps that is exactly as it should be. Because some mysteries are more meaningful when they invite us to keep searching. As our journey through the deep ocean begins to slow, it is worth remembering how remarkable our planet truly is. We often look toward the stars and wonder whether other worlds might contain extraordinary landscapes. Yet Earth already does. They exist beneath our feet, beneath the ships crossing the sea, beneath the waves reflecting sunlight each day, hidden in darkness, waiting quietly below. The deep ocean is not merely a place on a map. It is one of the last great unknowns, a world of ancient history, strange life, immense beauty, and endless curiosity. And tonight, as you drift toward sleep, perhaps it is comforting to know that while cities rest and the lights fade across the surface world, the ocean continues its timeless rhythm. Currents continue flowing, whales continue singing, tiny lights continue flashing in the darkness. Life continues unfolding beneath the waves, just as it has for millions of years, and just as it will long after this night has passed. For a moment, imagine standing alone on a quiet shoreline late at night. The sky above is filled with stars. The air is cool. Waves move steadily in and out, following a rhythm that existed long before the first human beings arrived. Nothing seems hurried. Nothing seems urgent. The ocean simply continues being what it has always been. And perhaps that is part of its appeal. So much of modern life feels fast. Notifications arrive constantly. Schedules fill our days. Information moves around the world in seconds. There is always something demanding attention, something asking to be done, something waiting for tomorrow. The ocean exists on a different timetable. Its greatest stories unfold over centuries. Its deepest currents may travel for hundreds of years. Its mountains formed over millions. Its ecosystems evolved across spans of time so vast that they are difficult to imagine. Compared to the age of the sea, a human lifetime is remarkably brief. Yet somehow, that thought can feel comforting rather than discouraging. because it reminds us that we do not need to carry everything ourselves. The world existed before us, and it will continue after us. The tides will keep rising. The currents will keep flowing. The whales will keep crossing the oceans. The deep sea will continue holding its mysteries. There is peace in recognizing that not everything depends on us. Sometimes it is enough simply to witness, to observe, to appreciate. Throughout this journey, we have traveled through darkness thousands of meters below the waves. We have encountered glowing creatures that create their own light. We have visited underwater mountains larger than anything many people ever imagine. We have descended into trenches so deep that even Earth's tallest mountain would disappear within them. We have explored ecosystems powered not by sunlight, but by the chemistry of the planet itself. We have looked into the distant past and discovered oceans older than forests, older than dinosaurs, older than nearly every familiar thing in our world. And through all of it, one idea appears again and again. The ocean is far stranger than it first appears. From the surface, it can seem simple. A blue horizon stretching into the distance, waves rolling toward the shore, sunlight reflecting across the water. But beneath that surface lies one of the most extraordinary environments on Earth. A hidden world larger than entire continents. A world filled with life forms that challenge our expectations. A world that remains only partially explored. Perhaps that is why people have always been drawn to the sea, not merely because of its beauty, but because it reminds us that mystery still exists. There are still questions without answers, still discoveries waiting to be made, still places where human knowledge fades into uncertainty. The deep ocean teaches humility. No matter how much we learn, there is always more to understand. No matter how detailed our maps become, there are always new details waiting to emerge. No matter how advanced our technology grows, nature continues finding ways to surprise us. And maybe that is one of the most valuable lessons the ocean offers. The reminder that wonder does not disappear simply because we gain knowledge. If anything, the opposite often happens. The more scientists learn about the sea, the more fascinating it becomes. Every answer seems to reveal new questions. Every discovery opens another door. Every expedition uncovers another mystery. Wonder continues expanding, just like the ocean itself. And now, as our journey gradually comes to an end, imagine once again the deep waters beneath the surface. Far below the waves, darkness stretches in every direction. Tiny lights drift through the blackness. A jellyfish pulses softly in the distance. A whale's call echoes through the water. Slow currents move across the seafloor. Marine snow falls gently through the depths. Ancient creatures continue their quiet lives far from human observation. Nothing there is concerned about tomorrow. Nothing is rushing. Nothing is worried about unfinished tasks. The deep ocean simply exists, patient, silent, ancient. And perhaps tonight, as you settle into sleep, you can borrow a little of that calm for yourself. Let your thoughts drift like currents. Let the worries of the day sink slowly away. Allow the noise of the surface world to become distant. There is nowhere else you need to be right now. Nothing else you need to do. The ocean has spent billions of years moving at its own pace. For the next few moments, maybe you can do the same. And while you rest, somewhere beneath the waves, the great hidden world of the deep sea will continue exactly as it always has. Quietly, patiently, endlessly, waiting in the darkness beneath our blue planet.